Welcome to this episode of Inside Tulsa Athletics. On our show today, we will feature our head girls wrestling coaches from the schools that sponsor girls wrestling. That would be Hale, Rogers, Edison, Webster, and McLain. We'll also feature our swim coaches from Edison, Memorial, and Booker T. We'll have student athletes with us as well, representing those schools. Stay tuned, and we'll be right back with Charles Bradley, the head swim coach at Edison. Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and our first guest today is Charles Bradley, the head swim coach at Edison. Charles, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Who's your student athlete?
This is our freshman captain, Mylie Bradley. Same last name as my daughter. So this is our first year at Edison, both of us. I took over the swim program. She's a top 15 freshman in the country. So we're looking forward to what we can build with the Edison program and see what we can do.
Mylie, how long have you been in swimming?
I would say about 8 or 9 years.
Really?
It's been in my life for a while. I started club swimming at a really young age of 6.
Yeah.
Summer swim 4, 5.
Do you ever take any time off?
No, it's my whole life.
It's almost gotten that way in all programs. If you take time off, you fall behind a little bit. And you don't want to do that. So, your first year at Edison?
Yes, sir.
Where were you before that?
So I have her and her 2 younger sisters. I've coached them club their entire lives. We moved to Tulsa about 3 years ago. They originally attended Jinx. As she was becoming a freshman, like I said, I've coached her and her sisters their whole life. So the opportunity presented itself for me to continue coaching them in high school. So over the summer, we did some soul searching and made the decision to move her over to Edison and me to take over the swim program. This is my first high school coaching job, but like I said, I've been coaching club as a second career since she was 6 years old.
Yeah. How do you like Edison?
It's pretty good so far.
Is
It's different from Jinx, but
I can imagine.
Better different. So
Yeah. Good. Well, as you look at your team, how are your numbers?
So this year we've got we've grown a little bit. We've got 6 girls and 5 boys. Really freshman laden team. I've got a couple of upperclassmen that are returning, but really the core of our team is the freshman group. And we've kind of went and started roaming the halls and searching for athletes from other sports. We got a couple cross country kids and some track kids. And try to get them, into the swim side of things and use that as conditioning stuff for their other sports and try to build us to a, competitive size team. I think this will be the biggest team that Edison's had in the last 4 or 5 years for sure.
Right.
And we're really looking. We're still out there searching, trying to get some kids involved even before the end of the season for regionals. So
consistency and having you there visible.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I've really taken a focus on is being in the school as much as I can, trying to meet with the kids and the other coaches and and get them to understand the benefits of the aerobic side of the training that they can do in the pool, that especially with the restrictions on other sports that you have with summertime training and stuff like that, to get the kids in the pool on their own time is
Right,
benefit.
right. And of course, one of the great challenges, you don't have a pool on site.
Right. It's been a little bit of a challenge. Mick and our ADs there at Edison with Ray and Lauren have jumped through a lot of hoops and made a lot of phone calls. And I've recently started some dialogue because Booker T's got a new coach this year as well. So we've kind of started some dialogue about sharing facilities and making that work for our kids. So
that'll be good, I think. I know we've made some improvements in the Booker T facility.
Yes.
And upgraded it, so it's and I think it can accommodate
Sure, sure.
More than one team. And
Absolutely,
so on.
absolutely. Yeah, they've. I have not actually been in the facility, but I've seen photos and talked to some other folks, and I think it's a full size competition facility, so
Right.
it can accommodate multiple teams. I think.
How's your schedule look?
So we've had our first couple meets. We swam Bartlesville 1st of November. Had a pretty decent meet. We swam at Fort Gibson last weekend, which was it was kind of a mixed bag. We kind of short into practice in between the meets and stuff. So we had some pretty good swims though, and then we actually swim tonight over at Bixby. So have some pretty good Jinx is going to be there. Bixby's going to be there. Some pretty talented programs are going to be there, and that's kind of my focus with our program is to kind of stay. There's a lot of swim programs to not be out. Traveling all over. There's enough
Sure.
teams here in Tulsa County to have meets where we're not getting kids home at midnight and still plenty of competition.
And compromising their academic performance the next day.
Academics always comes first.
Absolutely. What are your goals for this year?
Try where regionals is a big thing for me. We've gone to regionals, and go big or go home and try to win state.
There you go.
We have big enough. We are not the biggest team, but we have some strong athletes, and I think if we keep working hard and persevering through practices, that we'll have a good chance at state.
What events do you swim in?
I'm a breaststroker, and in club, normally I swim the 200, but there is no 200 in high school, so I will be swimming about anything.
Anything, just
This
to get in the
year.
pool.
Just for
well, good.
some
Well,
points.
good luck this year.
Thank you.
Hope to have you back toward the regional time.
Absolutely.
And when we come back, we'll have Joanna Bentley, who is the head coach of the Memorial Chargers.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have Joanna Bentley, who is the head swim coach for the Memorial Chargers. Joanna, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Introduce who's your guest today?
This is Emmalynn Fenton. She's a junior at Memorial. This is her first year there and our first year together. And I just love having her lead my team.
Good. Where did you come from?
I came from Washington State, so it was
Oh,
a
really?
cross-country move.
Well,
Yeah.
I imagine. How long have you been involved in swimming?
I've been involved in swimming for about 5 years or so, but I took about a 3-year break, so just back at it again.
I see. So excited about being back in the pool?
Absolutely.
Good. How do you like Memorial?
I really enjoy it. It's a really nice school.
It's a good place. It's a good school. Well, Joanna, you how long have you been at Memorial?
Since 2007.
2007. All right.
So it's been, I started with my son who was there and thought that was the duration that I would be there. And it's amazing. Some of the kids that I had then are bringing their kids to me today. Oh, that's a feeling.
Well, we were talking about that over the weekend. I said, what a really bad feeling is that when some of the kids that you coached, their kids have kids.
Yes.
Because the first year I coached, I was 23, and I had seniors that were 18.
Yeah.
Only 5 years difference.
That's true.
So I'm 76, they're 71. So the time you just kind of forget about those things, but it's good that they come back to see you. And you know that you've had an impact on their life and the things that they do outside of the sport that they're in. So tell us about your swim team this year.
Well, this year I have a team of boys, 3, and I have 6 girls. And I'm really excited. Emmalynn is the experience. The rest of them are developing, and a couple of them are passionate about their development. And so I look forward to what the future has as far as moving into the state realm. I think I'm looking at her, and I'm hoping that I'm looking at my girls' relay team to go forward. But it's exciting. They're all new, so they've got time. They've got time to grow and develop and get
Well, that's
there.
good. Yeah, well, that's how it goes. You're supposed to get better every year, aren't you?
That's right.
What events do you swim?
Well, I really enjoyed the 100 breaststroke and the 100 freestyle.
I see.
Yeah.
Now, are you on this relay team that you was talking about?
I'm hoping so. Yep.
She has to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, as you have developed the program over the years and stayed with it when it looked like it might be going away, and then come back, and then you helped us for a couple of years coaching 2 teams during the year. Tell us about your feeder program. You talked about your middle school program.
Well, I coach the TPS middle school. It's all of the middle schools have an opportunity to be part of the team. Right now I have students from Carver and Edison and Throw. They're really very good. And we're trying to get them matched up with other middle school teams. We have 3 meets set up for them. One is an exhibition where they'll really just swim against themselves. And the other 2 are going to be middle school versus middle school with Bixby. One at Memorial and one at Bixby.
I see.
And then their season will be done, and I'll focus on the last half of the high school season for state.
How many of the middle schoolers do you have, numbers wise?
I have 20 total. 6 of them are 6th grade, and 14 7th and 8th graders.
Okay.
And so the 7th and 8th graders are who would compete, and the 6th graders beg. And I'm
Right.
like, well, come and watch.
Right.
Get your experience through your eyes and know what's expected of you next year.
That's good. That's
So-
good. The feeder programs are essential to get kids involved early on and so on. So did you swim club swimming?
I swam for the YMCA for those about 4 or 5 years and really enjoyed it. Got a lot of technique that's really helped me where I am now.
I see.
Yeah, so it's been real good.
So, and you're a senior?
I'm a junior.
Junior, okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you look forward, what do you want to study if you go to college?
Well, I'm actually looking at a trade school. Still looking at my options, but I know I got about a year to solidify the decision, but yeah.
I always said that. I told Dr. Ballard when I came here, I said, this magnet schools, you have the kids going to the different schools. I said, I spent the last 22 years in college, and we have freshmen don't know what they want to do in college. I don't know where we're going to have a freshman in high school know what he wants to do. Well, listen, congratulations on the good start, and good luck this year. And hopefully we'll have you back before the regional.
All right.
And when we come back, we'll have Casey Setzler, the head coach at Booker T.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but Ben, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have the assistant coach from Booker T. Washington, Jennifer Salcher, right?
Yep, pretty close.
Okay. And Jennifer, who are your guests today?
I have with me two of our senior girls. I have Hadyn Anderson and McKenzie Salcher.
Well, I tell you what, it is swimming season.
It definitely is.
Even though in this room it feels like it's hockey season.
True that.
But we are operating without heat today, so that's kind of one of those things. The Washington Swim Program has been a good program for over the years. I can remember back 2 or 3 years ago, we had a first and a second boys and girls in the state championships and everything. So how long have you been at Booker T, and what do you look for this season?
So I have been an assistant coach. This is my 3rd year, although 4 years with the team. I was a parent beforehand. And we are really looking forward to a good season. It's a change. We have a new head coach this year. Casey Stelzer came over to us from Owasso and has taken over. He's pushing the kids hard. So it's a little bit of a change. I think they'd agree. It's a little bit of a change for them. But we're seeing lots of good things so far. We're seeing a lot of improvement in the water. And we expect to, hopefully we'll get all 3 of our girls relays into state. Hopefully a couple of the boys relays. Our boys team's a little small this year, so we're fighting a little numbers on that. But it's been a good season so far.
6A competition is pretty tough, isn't it?
Pretty tough. There are a lot of good swimmers. Edmond North for the girls is going to be very tight, very hard. Jenks, of course, they're also always a perennial hard team. But really, and Norman, I think they've got some swimmers coming up this year, so it'll be challenging. But
What are your goals for this year?
I'd say the thing that's always been like the most important on the swim team for me is just like the energy we have, and like Kenzie were talking about, our girls as seniors, we want to like lead the team, and I'm not the fastest on the team, so I want to make state, but I guess I just want to be a great senior, really, and
Have a good year and be a good leader.
Have fun, do the swim meets, swim events,
That's what it's all about.
That is.
In the end.
It's a lot of fun.
What about you?
A lot like Hadyn. I really want to help our freshmen get better prepared, make sure they're going to be doing okay when we're gone, help our juniors get ready to be seniors, and then just kind of enjoy senior year and try to improve my times and qualify for state if I can.
You bet. That's the thing. You want to, through the year, you want to progress.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want to have it the best time the first week of the season.
Exactly.
You know, that's always the thing. You want to hit that peak when you get to regional and
Exactly.
state. Those are the things that you look forward to. When did you start swimming?
I've been swimming since I was pretty little, so like probably 5 or 6.
Mm-hmm. How about you?
I swam a bit with a club, I think 6th grade, and then my middle school team, and then now. So my sister did before me.
Yeah, so about 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I understand that there is a movement in middle schools. They're having one team right now combined with 3 schools, but that's got to lead to some potential good swimmers in the future.
Yeah, we really hope that they can build that middle school team up and really grow it and really encourage swimming in high school. It's such a great sport for the kids, and we have really good kids, really good athletes, really good academic students on the team. But building that middle school and getting that interest is very important for us because our numbers we're down a little bit on our size.
Well, I think one of the things with numbers through the pandemic hurt every program.
It did. You know, most swimming programs, high school especially, you usually get a bump after the Olympics. Everybody watches it for 2 weeks,
Right.
and then, oh, I want to go swim, and so you see a bump, and we've seen that in the past in high school, and we haven't seen it in this last Olympic cycle with it being off a year and with COVID and everything.
Yeah, that's been one of the most debilitating things that I've ever experienced, I think, in all my years in athletics, is to have a year where you shut down.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I hope we never experience that again.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
Amen. It was definitely interesting, all of the things that we did to manage practices and the team.
Just try to make it work.
And everything and make it work.
So your schedule, how's your schedule look?
Really good, super busy. We just came off a meet at Fort Gibson last Thursday where the girls won and the team combined won. So we came home with lots of hardware from there.
Good.
That's always a fun meet to go swim at. We're having our senior night meet here soon. So we get to celebrate these guys and all of their teammates. And we'll just be working through the season, and we're really focusing on meets with Coach Casey. We're really focusing on seeing how they're taking what we're working on in practice and carrying it over to a race. So we're really looking at their development so that when we get to regionals, we can try and get as many kids qualified to state as possible.
Do you think you have a good chance?
I think we have some really good chances. We feel pretty good where our relays are heading. All three of the girls' relays, like I said, the boys' relays, they're really developing. We're very young on the boys' team. But we have a couple, we have some senior girls that have some shots with some improvement over the season. We have a couple really strong junior girls that should be repeat qualifiers. They all qualified last year, and we have high hopes of them qualifying again this year. So we actually think we'll have about the same as last year, maybe a few more.
Okay.
Depending on how they
Well, hopefully we'll have you back before the
Alrighty.
regional time and talk about those successes.
We'd love to be here.
When we come back, we'll have Danny Smith, who is the head girls wrestling coach at Rogers.
Hey, Tulsa, we have a crushing recycle play of the day for you. Team Johnson versus paper and cardboard.
They're starting off slow today, probably trying to figure out what to do with those styrofoam plates, since they're not recyclable.
There's the big play we were waiting for. Boom! Completely empty cardboard boxes dunked in the cart. Score big by recycling your cardboard and paper. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Danny Smith, the head girls wrestling coach from Will Rogers. And Danny, you have a guest today.
I do. This is our team captain, our junior here, KK. She's our 110-pounder.
110 pounds. KK, why in the world are you wrestling?
Well, I started wrestling because I saw my brother do it, and he really influenced me to do it.
So, and you really just got involved with it?
Yeah. And it's just something I ended up really enjoying to do because it was real physical and really like, how would I explain it? Like you have to think with everything. You have to have strategics and everything with it.
That's good. Yeah, you bet. I watched over the weekend Crystal's daughter wrestling at Carl Albert, and she had quite a weekend with all the falls and everything. And it's a fantastic opportunity, I think, for girls to be involved in wrestling. Danny, tell us a little bit about you. How long have you been at Rogers, and where were you before that?
Yeah, I appreciate it. This is actually my first year at Rogers, so coming in, coached football as well on the defensive line and taking over as the head women's wrestling coach. Before this, the last 3 years, I was at Jinx, where I coached football, and then I was the head junior high wrestling coach there as well over the last 2 to 3 years.
And you said you're from Wichita originally?
Yes, sir. Originally from Wichita, And so started off, I played at Coffeyville Community College football, and then ended up at Panhandle State University to finish with football.
That's interesting. I coached at Coffeyville, and my daughter started the softball program at Panhandle State. She was the first softball coach out there.
That's awesome.
Years ago, and everything. Well, let's talk about girls wrestling at Rogers. You've had a little bit of success previous to you being there. How do you look at your program right now?
Yeah, Coach Gates has done a phenomenal job getting the program to where it is right now. We had 2 state placers last year that were seniors. Unfortunately, we're losing those. Sam, you just talked about, and then our heavyweight as well. So Sam ended up being the state champion last year. I think our heavyweight took 3rd or 4th last year. She did really good. So replacing those 2 pieces are very tough, but with KK and a few others that we got in the room, I think we're going to be all right. We're sitting at about 12 girls right now, so almost to the full roster. So super excited about that and just building interest in the school. A school with Rogers, you really got to work the hall and try to get as many people interested as you can.
Well, wrestling, the former wrestling coach, the old Fox, Maury Villarreal, who was there when I was there, had an interesting wrestling program back in those days. They were very successful. Boys only at that time.
Right.
That was prior to 1972 when we had Title IX. So you have 12 girls in the room
Yes,
right
sir.
now.
Yes, sir.
Does that mean you don't have to forfeit any weights?
That is, we're right there. We're depending on how they fall in the roster. I think we're going to be okay.
That's really good. I coached wrestling for 2 years in Kansas, and we made sure that we're not going to give you 6.
That's right. That's right.
You're going to have to fight us.
That's right.
6.
That's what I tell the girls all the time. Hey, come out. Maybe you'll get lucky and wrestle. Maybe you'll get lucky and not wrestle, depending on how you see it.
How do you look at your season, your schedule? When do you start?
So our first tournament is on Tuesday. So we're going to Warner and got a early morning out there. And then following we have Wilburton. So those are 2, I think, pretty good tournaments for us. And a lot of our beginner wrestlers can go out there and have some success against a lot of other green wrestlers. So super excited about that. And so, Tuesday it gets rolling. And as you know, it's nonstop from there. All gas, no brakes.
All the way to the state tournament.
That's
exactly.
right. That's right.
How's your dual schedule look?
Our dual schedule, I think we set up pretty favorable to do that this year. And, depending on how we fall in those weight classes, I think we should be, I don't want to say, undefeated in duels, but I think we have a pretty good chance. So.
Now, will you wrestle in the upper gym?
Yes, we will.
I thought that they had made that change in the past. How do you look? Who are the teams to beat for you to get to a regional tournament and so on?
So you always got Coweta's always stacked. Glenpool always has some pretty good schools. There's a lot of good wrestling in the 5A. So it just really depends on who all follows and falls in what way. And, we'll really pay attention to tournaments and rankings and seeing who wrestles what and their kind of success and kind of plan the best around that.
KK, what are your goals for this season?
My main goal is to mainly go to state. I was so close last year, but now I know that I can do it. I'm going at a different weight class this year, so I expect to wrestle so many different people and have so many good matches and get at least 10 pins this year.
Good. Do you have to pull any weight, or are you just pretty much on weight?
I'm pretty much on weight, just 1 pound off.
Oh, really? Well, that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Come up eating a biscuit.
Yeah, right.
Make everyone else mad.
I've seen them in the room shave their heads and everything else to make weight. So
that's right.
Well, hope you have a great year, both of you.
Thank you.
And hope we have you back toward the end for the state tournament.
Yes, sir. I greatly appreciate you having us.
And when we come back, we'll have Aaron O'Brien, the head wrestling coach for girls at Edison.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against a tough competitor, plastic.
Don't trust those numbers on the bottom. You have to stick to what you know. Only bottles and jugs found in the kitchen, bath, or laundry. They're quick to pick up and empty those bottles before sinking that shot.
Always empty your bottles before recycling. Score big by recycling your plastic bottles and jugs. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
I love Will Rogers Athletics because it helped me physically, spiritually, and emotionally through all the journeys I've been through at that school. All of the support staff helped me a lot, and it's just an amazing school.
Athletics at Will Rogers changed my life because it became a second family. With the support of my coaches and teammates, it's helped me gain confidence, work as a team, and will help me in college and in life.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. Now we have Jim Harper, who's sitting in for Aaron O'Brien, Aaron O'Brien is the girls' coach at Edison. Jim is the boys' wrestling coach that Aaron couldn't get here today. So, Jim, tell us a little bit about the origin and how your girls' program started and where you are today.
Actually, this is our first year to have girls. We've had one or two over the past 12, 13 years that I've been there, but this year we've got 7 or 8 right now. And of course, Aaron's running it. And we practice the girls with the boys. And but yeah, they seem to be excited about it, and I'm really happy for them.
When you have duels, will you have the girls and the boys, or you have a separate schedule?
But we usually typically do them together.
Okay.
It's a lot easier that way rather than the buses going 2 different ways.
Sure. Yeah.
So
2 mats or 1 mat, and one starts earlier than the other one? Or?
We generally do 1 mat. We'll do girls first and then boys.
I see. Okay.
And,
well, that's and 12 weight. Is that what 12 weight?
I think it's 14.
Oh, 14
for
weights.
Both, I thought. Now I'm not that familiar with the girls' weights, each weight, but I think it's 14 and 14.
I see. Okay. Well, that's good. And you have 7 or 8, you said, right now.
We do, and we're still taking more. We advertise it over the intercom every day during morning announcements. And, we've got a senior girl that I think she outworks all the boys in the room. She's tough. And we got another little sophomore girl. She hadn't missed a practice one. And I'm impressed with their work ethic.
Good. Well, it's an emerging sport. It's brand new to a lot of schools, and really over the last 4 or 5 years, it's just really in infancy right now. Collegiate wrestling, women's wrestling is very new, but it gives those girls an opportunity now.
It does.
Post high school to be able to go out and earn their education a little bit and continue to compete.
Well, that's one of our selling points, that when we talk to these girls, trying to get them in the room, that colleges are looking for girl wrestlers right now. It's always tough to get a scholarship, but right now for girls wrestling, if a girl goes out and works hard, she's got an opportunity.
Exactly.
And, it's a good time to be a girl wrestler.
It is, I think, when you're at the front end of those kinds of programs, and they are looking, whether it's good or bad. I mean, universities are really tied to a Title IX situation, and they have to provide those opportunities. But I think it's a great opportunity for young women to be able to continue on. Who are some of the other girl wrestling programs you think you're going to have to compete against?
We'll go against all the Tulsa schools, and I know most of them have pretty good numbers from what I understand. We'll take them to the prior tournament, which is boys and girls. We'll go down to Okmulgee, do that tournament. We'll do the Battle of the Belt over the Christmas holidays. And we got Glenpool tournament. I'm not sure if we'll take them there or not. We're not real experienced yet, and we're trying to hit a lot of the TPS. All the other schools are in the same boat we are, so that it's a good time to duel those people in tournament with them too.
Now, what's the Battle of the Belt? What's that?
Battle of the Belt is our Blue Tee program puts it on, and it's an open tournament over the holidays where a lot of high school teams go to it as well. And so we'll enter all our girls in that tournament as well as boys. And, our junior high program, they'll be going to that as well. We've got 10 or 12 in the junior high.
Oh, really?
That's a great starting point there.
Well, it is. That feeder program's always. Now, where will this be held?
It'll be at the Tulsa Fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah.
And next year, we're planning on moving it back to Edison and bring the Edison tournament back under Battle of the Belt.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So it should be a big tournament.
The Edison tournament was a big tournament for a lot of years.
It was. It's been, we had the Ray Nunley Memorial Tournament for several years, a dual tournament, and we want to tie his name to it too.
Oh, sure. Ray was a good friend.
Good guy.
Of mine. I knew he was at Edison back when I was at Union back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s, and what a tremendous booster for Edison.
Oh, he was. When my first year at Edison, we were at a tournament in Sand Springs. And that's the first time I met Ray, and he got the booster club up and going.
He sure did. I know as a director, I met with him quite often on how to do those things and everything.
Yeah,
and he wanted to do it by the book, but he certainly did a good job. And they did a lot of improvements to the room and everything through their fundraising. So, well, good luck.
I appreciate it.
Aaron, we missed him today.
Yeah, he had to work today.
But hopefully we'll have him back when we get to tournament time.
I hope so. That'd be good.
When we come back, we'll have Nicholas Eaves, who is the wrestling coach at Webster.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right, only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Athletics is so important at Tulsa Central because it's an outlet for some of our kids there. They get a better opportunity to basically give back to our community.
At McLain, the sports is what mainly drives a bunch of the students to come to school every single day and work hard because they want to be able to come from the classroom to the field or the court and show at what they're good at.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics. And now we have the head girls wrestling coach from the Webster Warriors, Nicholas Eaves. Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Right. I think it's wrestling season. We got things going.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about your girls program.
The girls program, we're just getting it off the floor going. I know we have some interest in the youth program and the junior high program. Right now we have 2 seniors and we have 2 sophomore girls for the high school. So we have 2 that have some experience, and then they each brought in a workout partner. So we're kind of paired up here looking to grow our junior high program so that we can have more than 4 in the future. So
how are your numbers in junior high?
Junior high, they're a little bit more. We have about 6 girls in there, but each day there seems like there's one or 2 girls that comes with interest at that level.
I see.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. What do you think your schedule looks like?
The schedule, it's going to start picking up come December. Right now we're in our preseason tournaments. Those have been real big tournaments with a lot of 6A schools. So we're kind of getting our first looks at the season. But come 1st of December, that's when our tournaments really kick off. Our duels will start to kick off. Mm-hmm. I think the December 2nd actually is our first Oak Mulvey tournament.
Oak Mulvey tournament.
Yes,
I think everybody in Tulsa is going to the Oak Mulvey tournament.
Well, they'll all be there.
Yeah.
It's a good tournament.
Well, that is a good tournament. It's a good start for the kids to get out on the mat and wrestle some other folks and see how that is. I think that's a key thing in teaching. You can do all that technique work you can on the mat in the room. Right. But when they actually get out on the mat and they see how it really works in live competition, it's a lot different.
Yes, sir. Yes, especially for the new wrestlers, gives them a first look at what they need to work on and just how tough it is. So,
I started a wrestling program at Coffeyville High School back in 1970. They had never wrestled, and they were the only school in the SEK that had not wrestled, and we were the biggest school in the SEK. And so we started that program, and the first year we came in second in the conference,
Wow.
And the next year we won the conference.
Nice.
And I had not wrestled, in high school. And I got a book, and I learned 3 takedowns and 2 escapes, and that's all we taught.
That's all you need.
And we kept it very simple, and the kids really adapted to that very quickly.
Right.
The top 8 weights were all football players.
Imagine.
And the first 4 weights were not big enough to play football. They were little kids, but we took them to tough competition,
Right.
and that's how they really learned how to wrestle. It wasn't what I was doing; it was what they learned on their own.
Sure.
But, anyhow, so as you look at your the future of your girls program, do you feel like you're going to be able to build it and grow?
I do, yes. Especially the more the girls learn about the funner aspects of it, because you stand back and look at it, you just see the hard work and the grit that it takes. But once you get a few girls in there and they have fun, they come back, they share their experiences with their friends. I see a lot of girls enjoying it. I mean, we have some tough girls around here.
Well, I think that now the opportunity to wrestle at the collegiate level is wide open.
Yes,
right
sir.
now, because that's emerging sport in the NCAA and the NAIA.
Yes.
And in JCAA.
Mhm.
And I think that gives those girls an opportunity to continue their education and continue their wrestling.
You're absolutely right. Yes. Yeah.
So I think those are good things, I think, for those girls to look at.
Right.
What how's your boys program?
The boys program, we're coming along pretty good. Our high school numbers are a little lower than I want them to be. Of course, we all want that full team. Right now, I'm kind of just trying to, a lot of them are new wrestlers. So they have to learn how to juggle their personal life with wrestling.
Mhm.
And a lot of them don't see how that process is going to work. So I'm having to kind of explain to them that, most generally everybody still has a job, everybody still has their homework to do, but on the side of that, they're still able to train and go to competition and take care of business.
I was always remember as a freshman football player at the University of Oklahoma, the wrestlers would come into the dining hall. And we were having steak and they were having Jello. And I asked one of them one time, he said, well, I have 2 sets of clothes. I have in-season clothes and out-of-season clothes.
The steak season and Jello season.
That was the time where we didn't have the weight controls.
Right.
A certain percentage, you could only lose a certain percentage.
Right.
You'd have kids that would suck down 30 pounds.
You're exactly
40
right.
pounds.
Yeah.
And those days are over.
There's a lot of safety measures in place, which is great for these kids.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. I saw kids that really had gotten themselves not in a healthy state.
You're exactly right.
To perform on the mat, they couldn't physically couldn't handle it.
Right.
And it's so sometimes we have to make legislation work to the benefit of the student athlete.
Sure.
Isn't that interesting?
Right,
So,
yeah.
well, good luck
Thank you,
with
sir.
both your programs, and I
Yes.
hope things work out well. And we'll have you back later in the season.
Well, I appreciate it.
When we come back, we're going to have Taywone McNack, the head wrestling coach at McLain.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Edison High School has taught me to work as a team rather than as an individual. Whenever you're on a team, you have a special bond with each other. You know you can rely on them in a time of need, whether on or off the court. Whether it be a shoulder to cry on or advice on how you can improve, you know your team will always be there for you.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa Athletics, and now we have Taywone McNack, the head girls wrestling coach and the head boys wrestling coach from McLain High School. Glad you're here, Taywone.
Hey, nice to be back.
Yeah. Now we get to talk about the other side of your program. How is it when you're a head coach in two sports?
It can be challenging. Definitely easier when you have a team. So that's the only part about it, is just being able to like manage both girls and boys at the same time.
Same time, yeah. Now, do you practice together?
Yes, we do practice together. Currently, that's the only thing that we're able to do at the moment until we show that we deserve a girls' wrestling room.
Mm-hmm. Sure. So we have one wrestling room there. How are your numbers in your girls' program?
Surprisingly, I got 10 girls on the roster, but I got for sure 6 that's going to be wrestling for sure.
Really?
Yeah, so that's actually good to have.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited about that. And hopefully we can just continue growing and get more girls out there.
Well, it gives a good opportunity for young ladies to find another sport. You know, not everybody can shoot a basketball or run track or whatever. So, and now there are more opportunities at the collegiate level for women to go into wrestling. So that's a plus for them. So, have you opened your season yet?
We actually went to the Bigsby Open on the 5th, and we had 2 girls that placed there.
Really?
One of my freshmen, first-year wrestlers, she took 3rd. It's pretty exciting to see her do that because for the placement match, 3rd and 4th, she beat the girl that beat her in the first match of the tournament.
Really?
So, yeah, it was pretty exciting. And then one of our other girls, Aubrey, she's a sophomore. She ended up taking 2nd, and that was pretty exciting as well.
And they have a limited experience.
Limited, yes.
Yeah, so that's good. They're picking that quick. Then.
Right, yeah.
That's good. That's good. What do you look at your future? Are you going to be able to have any dual match, or are you going to school to go to tournaments?
I think in the future we should be able to host duels and be able to go out there and compete team versus team. But like this year and probably next year, more so going to be tournaments, depending on if the numbers grow next year. But with the numbers being at the way that they are now, and like I said, it's not for sure if all 10 is going to be competing. So right now, we're just going to be seeing if other teams got girls and just wrestle those matches. That
kind
way.
of exhibition matches before the boys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are your boys' numbers?
Our boys' numbers there, it's about 25 of us in there. So we got a great number of boys, and I think we'll be able to get more in the years to come, if I'm being honest. Like, I think the program is definitely heading in the right direction, and more people has been or interested in the sport. So I think that's going to really help push the agenda for the wrestling community at McLain.
Good. How many did you get out of football?
Out of football, so it's about 6 that I got from football. I was expecting a little bit more than that, but there's a solid 6 that's really been begging to come.
Oh, good.
And get in wrestling practice. I'm just like, finish out the football season, and when you're done, you're more than welcome in the room.
You always have the kids are always looking over their shoulder at their next, what can I do next?
Yeah.
You know, and they got to, I always preach that same thing. You got to finish what you started.
Right.
When you finish what you started, then you can start something else. But you make a commitment to a program and to other kids and coaches, and it's important you do that. So how do you like being at McLain?
I actually enjoy being there. It's the only place I want to be, honestly. Like, I couldn't see myself being a teacher or a coach anywhere else, if I'm being honest, because, I mean, I'm from that community, and they need more people like me that's from that community to come back and show, and also be a mentor and somebody that can just help guide these kids in the right direction. So that's really my main goal, is to just like be that beacon of the person that can guide these kids in the right direction and just present them and just be able to bridge that gap as far as like opportunity. So I just want to make sure that they can excel in whatever they desire.
I think that's a tremendous role that you're filling in that program. I think that's what all coaches should strive to do, is to be that mentor for that young man, young woman in your program.
Right.
Well, I'm glad you're here. Good luck this season, and hopefully we'll have you back. And when we come back, we'll have Michael Gray, who's the head girls coach at Hale.
Hey, Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is looking to defend their title against aluminum and steel cans.
Bob, most people think of the kitchen for this opponent, but aluminum and steel cans, like empty shaving cream cans, also play extremely well in bathrooms all over Tulsa. That was nothing but bin, Bob.
Wow, right into the bin. Team Johnson has buttoned up another win. Score big by recycling your aluminum and steel cans. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale's means that you have to be consistent, outgoing, and be dedicated because students at Nathan Hale look up to the football team.
Being an athlete at Nathan Hale has taught me to be confident and disciplined and always to be open-minded and always ready to work with people no matter how difficult it is.
Welcome back to Inside Tulsa. Our last guest today, Michael Gray, the head girls wrestling coach at Nathan Hale High School. And Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Coach.
And who is your guest?
Well, this is Juliana Guerrero. She's one of my captains of my girls squad. She's a sophomore this year. So,
Juliana, how in the world did you get into wrestling?
I went to practice with one of my friends because she wanted to do it, and then I just ended up getting on the team.
Well, and so you're good enough to be a captain then?
Oh, yeah.
Well, good.
Yep.
What do you think about girls wrestling?
It's really fun. It's it's hard and it's challenging. So.
Had you ever seen a girls wrestling match before you got involved in?
No.
No.
I've only seen guys wrestling from my brother.
Yeah, I see. So you got a little wrestling in the family.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, so. Well, Michael, as you go into this season, how are your numbers?
Well, pretty good. We've got 12 so far on the girls team, looking to expand a little bit more. You know, I've got some that are thinking about maybe coming out after Christmas. They're just not too sure yet. You know,
Mm-hmm.
It's still kind of new. You know,
right? It is new. It's a new program across the country, really.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, you know, in the past, I've always had at least 2 girls have always competed on the boys team, and you know. They're like, you know, I was talking to one of them the other day. I ran into her Quick Trip. She's like, man, that's not fair, Coach. They got an actual girls team now. I was like, yeah, I know.
Well, it's an emerging sport
Yeah.
across the country. And, you know, we've had 2 or 3 kids in the last 2 years going to college and get their college paid for.
Yeah, Rogers, they're doing a really good job.
They have. I noticed the Marquardt kiddo had a tremendous week. I think she had 4 pins this weekend. So,
oh, I know. I looked into that.
Really, so there's an opportunity for young ladies that wasn't there in the past. So as you look at your season, who are some of your outstanding players that you have?
Well, Juliana, we've got Leandra Ortiz. She's another one of my outstanding wrestlers, and we've got a new girl that came on this year that used to do just track, but I mean, she's pretty stout and she's learning everything pretty quick. Nevaeh Jones, look for her to make some noise on the mat. So
that's one of the things that I started the wrestling program at Coffeyville High School.
Oh yeah.
And one of the things that I did, I brought them down to the East Central. East Central used to have a huge tournament in December back in the day. And then we wrestled Bartlesville and Tulsa Central at the time.
Right.
And I wanted to do that because I knew those kids on the mat would see things that I couldn't ever teach them, because they were just out there going to go through the experience of that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good thing. If you have a good competition, they learn from that.
Oh yeah.
So any tournaments coming up?
Yeah, we've got the Okmulgee tournament coming up December 2nd. So that's the one we're going to open up with.
And then you have a dual schedule?
Yeah, our first duel will be actually against Rogers December 6th.
I see.
So yeah.
So you're going to be busy. What are your goals this year as a wrestler?
My goal is to do better than last year and to try to make it to state.
There you go. What do you think you have to do to make it to state? What are you personally going to have to do?
Work harder. Yeah.
Conditioning?
Mm-hmm.
Can you go 3 periods?
Yeah, I can. I have a lot of stamina. I just need to work on my skill more.
Technique.
Mhm.
Right. What's your favorite takedown?
Pretty good at that single leg takedown.
Yeah, single leg.
You know, one of the things that we taught was the single leg, the switch out of the down position, and the fireman's carry. The three things that we had to get. And I was fortunate. They had never had wrestling in Belleville ever. And we came in second the first year, and we won the conference the next year. But had a lot of good kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't any coaching for sure. What teams you need to beat to be able to compete at the state level?
Rogers, they're always good, and then we've got to be able to hang with Union. They're always outstanding, and Coach Harris does a good job over there. So
aren't they in 6A though?
Yeah, they're 6A. I hope they moved it out a little bit because I remember at regionals last year we were just all kind of bunched in together there. You know, small schools and big schools.
Well, they just take the top 32, and if you happen to fall into that,
yeah. So I mean, Rogers is our main thing in Tulsa. They're pretty good. And then I don't know what Edison has really. I think he said he had 10. So they're always good, well coached. So we'll have to look out for them.
Well, it's good to have 12. You hate to give up 6.
Oh yeah,
points with those forfeits and things. Yeah. And well, good. We hope you have a good year.
Thank you, sir.
And good luck to you.
Thank you.
Work hard now so you get to the
I will.
regional state. Okay. Yeah. And when we come back, we'll have our closing.
Hey Tulsa, welcome back to the top recycling play of the day. Team Johnson is facing off against one tough competitor, glass.
That's right. Only glass bottles and jars are recyclable. Don't even think about sinking a drink in glass or mirror. Always good to empty your glass bottles and jars before recycling.
These two get it, emptying both bottles from far out, and they remove the lids. Score big by recycling your glass bottles and jars. Learn more at TulsaRecycles.com.
Being an athlete at Booker T. Washington has taught me to carry myself with class as an athlete, student, and friend, and to have responsibility on and off the field.
Being an athlete at Memorial High School has taught me to be a better person, because when you play sports, attitude is the main thing you have to deal with. Not just your own, but other people's. It also teaches you to be the bigger person.
We hope you enjoyed getting to know more about the TPS Girls Wrestling Program and our Boys and Girls Swim programs. We hope that you will support these programs as we continue to grow our numbers and all the students that participate. I want to thank our coaches and their student athletes for joining us today and sharing information about their programs. Time during the season is very precious. Each week as our students and our coaches prepare for their winter competition. We'll be back in 2 weeks for our December 1st show featuring our winter sports programs. If you're a basketball fan, you won't want to miss the show on December the 15th of the Tournament of Champions. We'll have coaches from some of the teams that will be participating. We'll be back in 2 weeks.